We spend a lot of time, especially charismatics and Pentecostals, talking about the gifts of the Spirit. Oh my God, the gifts of the Spirit. Oh, and they spake as the Spirit God gave utterance. And they prophesied, and I'm a prophet. Everybody's a prophet now. Everybody's a prophet. Everybody's a prophet. If they're not a prophet, they're an apostle. And I won't even get into tearing all of that down, tearing all of that up. And not saying that there aren't any prophets or that there aren't any apostles, but everybody is not an apostle and everybody is not a prophet. But once we hear something, we just reach out and grab it. We don't even have to know what it means. And we take it in, and now I'm a prophetess and I'm a prophet and all of that. And they're all running around seeking the gifts of the Spirit. They're holding up the service for an hour and a half, walking around speaking in tongues and waiting on somebody to interpret, or they're interpreting themselves. And all of that is biblical. All of that about the gifts of the Spirit operate. If you read Corinthians, you'll begin to understand that the gifts of the Spirit do exist. There are 9 spiritual gifts, and we do understand that they do operate in the church. Discernment of spirits, y'all, not people. I got the gift of discernment. I knew he wasn't nothing. No, 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 no. You're not discerning people, you're discerning spirits. The gift of discernment is the gift of the discernment of spirits. So anyway, you go through all of these gifts of the Spirit, and they're important. But Paul says in Corinthians that if we have all of that, and we have all knowledge, and we have not love, we are nothing. So he says between the gifts and the love, the fruit is going to outweigh the gifts every time. Oh, this is good. And yet you don't hear anybody walking around talking about, I have all the fruit of the Spirit. All the fruit of the Spirit is operating in my life. You don't see it on anybody's Instagram site. You don't see it on their business cards. But you see apostles and prophetess and chief apostle and chief apostle and co-chief apostle. And everybody's running after gifts. I'm a prophet. You know, I'm a prophet. I work miracles. I have the gift of miracles. I have the gift of faith. Oh, I have the gift of tongue. We see all of that kind of stuff. We don't see anybody bragging about the fruits of the Spirit. But Paul says that if we have all of the gifts and we have all of the knowledge and we do not have love, we are nothing. Now abideth faith, hope, and charity, and the greatest of these 3 is love. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. So if you never discerned the Spirit, if you never prophesied, if you didn't do anything but love people, you would have the greatest thing you could have is love. The greatest thing you could have is love. And that's the very thing nobody's interested in. It's not marketed to us. It's not talk. We don't get any talk about it. Nobody preaches about it. Nobody teaches us about it. Nobody teaches us patience and temperance and long suffering and just how to be kind. Some of the meanest people had the biggest titles. The greatest thing you can have is love. Now abideth faith, hope, and charity. And the greatest of the 3 is love. Everybody's snatching the faith. Everybody's talking about hold on to the hope. Everybody's after faith and the hope, and that's good. I need them too. But the greatest of the 3 is love. And Paul says, if I don't have love, I am nothing. Nothing. Not an apostle, not a prophet, not a pastor, not a teacher, not a CEO, not an executive, not a billionaire, not a millionaire. If I don't have love, I don't have anything. Not stocks, not bonds, not annuities, not a summer home. He says, if you don't get you some love, you are broke. Today we're talking about the fruits of the Spirit and the importance of the fruits of the Spirit and how important it is that you have it in your life. You'd be amazed what it would do to your ministry if you would speak the truth in love. You'd be surprised what a dash of love would do to your sermon. You got all kind of head knowledge, but no kind of heart knowledge. And you'd be surprised how much more effective you would be if you would let your heart into it and let your recreated Christ-like heart infiltrate how you lead that church, that business, that ministry. I'm talking to you. Real talk. You'd be surprised how it would affect your prayer life if you had the fruits of the Spirit operating in your life and you stop praying out of your own selfish agenda, trying to bend the will of God over to your ambition. You're not interested in doing the will of God. You're interested in getting God to make what you want happen to happen. You are a God manipulator. Stop saying you're an intercessor. You're not an intercessor. You're a God manipulator. Because when you really start praying, you get like Jesus and you say, Father, if it be thy will, pass this bitter cup from me. And then you correct yourself and say, no, not my will, but thine be done. God is not here to serve you. You are here to serve him. So it's not about your plans are all messed up and COVID-19 messed up all my plans, messed up mine too. So what? I don't care. It don't matter, because if God wanted it to happen, it would happen. And the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, and blessed be the name of the Lord. You'll never hear me sitting up here arguing about something that I plan not going for. I only want to last in the areas that God ordains to happen. And if God wills for it to happen, it'll happen. And if God never wills it, it'll never happen. And I don't even care, because I don't want anything that God doesn't want from me. I don't want a friend that God doesn't want from me. I don't want a house that God doesn't want from me. I don't want a member that God doesn't want. I only want what God has for me. How about you? This is a result of spending hours with the Spirit of God changing the spirit of Thomas. Oh yeah, my flesh needs a lot of work, always has, still does. But I'm telling you, it starts in my spirit. That if I can get my spirit right, if I can love right, if I can have peace right, if I can have joy right, I won't have so many thirst and cravings and frustration for everything else. It starts with the fruit of the Spirit. And I can't find anybody that's preaching about it. Nobody that's talking about it. But we need it like we never needed it before.